Okay, everybody, we're gonna start a little bit early. Why not? It's been a few days. Let's just go ahead and get into it, shall we? Howdy, y'all. Welcome. It is time for some more Elite Dangerous. Oh, God. My voice. Oh. Anyway. Hi. Isn't she beautiful? Isn't she beautiful? I love this ship. I really, really love this ship. Way more than I thought I would. It's, yeah, it's pretty much everything that I wanted in a large explorer. I've got my fleet carrier out. I'm kind of chasing it down as we just scuff around the galaxy. But, yeah, it's a lot of fun. You know, in terms of jump range, I know as an explorer, I'm well aware that the jump range is very, very important. I don't really care about it all that much because most of what I'm doing is going to be hopping between like closer systems as I kind of chase things down. But I do want the larger range so that like I can get back to places really fast, like how I'm chasing my fleet carrier down. Like if I just really want to zoom back to it, makes it a little bit easier. But aside from that, like the jump range on this thing, I think I've got like 83 or something. It's like closer to 77 right now since I've got some stuff on it. But, yeah, I mean, it's a little bit smaller than the Mandy, but everything else about it is really, really cool. And I think that's kind of what makes the difference to me in terms of whether I would want to use this or the Mandy, right? There's a lot of really cool features that I've already gotten a lot of use out of. I think most people know about the new fuel, but let's go ahead and check this out with the new FSD, right? So yeah, you know, there were a lot of people complaining in the beta about the really long scoop times, and you know what they did? They were like, well, you know what, we'll just lower how much fuel it takes per jump. So take a look down there, jumping 26 light years, it doesn't even move the bar. They took it from like 20.5 tons per jump or whatever down to like a 6.7 or something like that. It's kind of nuts. It's kind of nuts. So yeah, you're done scooping by the time you barely even touch the scoop range. It's really, really cool. And then, you know, there's a couple of other things as well. The nosedive, really cool. I really, really like the nosedive. I'm hoping as we get out here and kind of goof around a little bit. Oh man, this one's already been discovered. Okay. I've been doing pretty good, but I think I'm kind of crossing through the arms right now. So I think there's going to be fewer places to go check out as we get around here, but we're gonna keep exploring a little bit. But yeah, I mean, you barely touch the scoop range and you're full. There we go. All right. Obviously, you know, I don't do a whole lot of neutron boosting, but if you do neutron boosting, I've done 511, 512 neutron boosting, just to kind of test it out. So that's really good. But the big thing with it is that nothing takes damage. The FSD takes like a token 1%. And then after that, it's like really slow going. You can do like 30 jumps through neutrons and it'll be like 98%, right? But on top of that, even beyond that, none of the other modules take damage. You know, one of my squad mates was trying to explain neutron boosting and how you don't want to like undersize power plants and stuff within a certain range because then it might shut down in the middle of the boost and you're stuck in the cone and stuff. So it's like, that seems kind of odd because that was like the big selling point of the ship is that it can do a lot more efficient neutron boosting, right? So I was like, give me a second, I'm gonna go check it out. And sure enough, no damage. So yeah, undersize to your heart's content. You will not have to worry about anything taking damage. It's really cool. The nosedive is really great. The high G I have not gotten to test all that much. I've gotten to like, I don't know, like a 2G planet or something like that just to kind of scope things out. Yeah, the high G that I tested out was really, really cool. it basically just feels like any other planet, really. And honestly, it's kind of necessary. I don't know how many of y'all have tried going down to like to any starports or surface ports. Yeah, don't aim for the tower. I'll just put it that way. You know, the other thing with the Caspian is that the glide speed is much faster, which means if you're aiming for the tower on any surface port, you're going to be clenching your cheeks quite a bit. Yeah, I've come very close. It's very close to pulling a yeah, we'll just leave it at that, right? But thankfully, you know, I pulled out just in time. Just in time. But it is fast. It is really fast. And sure enough, it really makes going down quite a bit easier. In fact, I might buy another one of these just as like a cargo loader, right? Just to help with like CMMs and stuff. You know, it's about a third of the capacity of my Panther, but in terms of how fast it gets down to the ground, that honestly might make up for it. I don't really know. I haven't tested it too much. You know, I don't think I would use it for something like a T3 base or something like that, but everything else, maybe. It's pretty wicked. But everything about this ship is just beautiful. There's only one thing that I don't like, and that is this this bar right here. Even aside from the view, which it doesn't have as much of a side view as I was expecting either. I was hoping to have a little bit more on the side for being an explorer ship. But you know, the full window, top and bottom, is pretty nice. But the bar, even aside from the view, if you're like me and you use Super Cruise Assist like this, but you need to SCO it like halfway, you're probably not going to be like aiming straight at the planet, right? You usually go a little bit above or a little bit below and SCA it until you reach a certain amount. Well, if you do that, then this bar covers the distance remaining. So you can't really like see how much further you've got to go. I mean, you have the meter that's like behind me right now, but I don't know how much I actually pay attention to that in the middle of SCA, right? And so I would like them to move the bar. I'm not necessarily opposed to the bar being there, but they do need to at the very least move it so it's not covering anything in the UI, right? That's really, I think, the main issue that I have with the ship so far. Everything else, I don't really have too much of a problem with anything. I know some people are like, they should bring back the old fuel, right? Because they think this is real life and not a video game and they hate fun. Nah, keep the fuel. I like not having to like scoop every for like 2 minutes every jump, right? You know, it's kind of a weird little thing. It may or may not have been intended. I have no problem with it. Keep the fuel as it is. It's a silly space game. Let's just keep having fun with it, right? But aside from that, you know, I haven't done too much with it yet. Like, we're kind of out here. I've done some landings. I've done some exobio. I have not contributed anything to the CG yet. I might do that on the return trip and start saving up for that. I've mostly been turning things into the fleet carrier as I can. If nothing else, because the tritium. You know me, I like to have a pretty nice hold of tritium before we start heading out. Yeah, it's a fair amount. It costs a bit. I want to try making that back up. But, you know, I haven't really done like missions or anything like that. I know some people have been trying to do a bunch of like, just a little hiccup. But, yeah, I know some people have made like the Caspian destroyer, right? Just like all rails. It's got a lot of hard points. It's got a lot of hard points. I haven't done anything like that. I might buy another one when we get back. I use quite a few engineering materials just getting this thing up and running. But once we get back to the fleet carrier, we'll take a look at the build and all of that. It's a pretty bog standard build, I think, if you have watched my channel enough. By this point, you kind of have a decent idea of what kind of exploration builds I do. Yeah. But yeah, speaking of all of that, you know, I did do a little bit in the CG. I might have fallen in the ranks a little bit. I had been at like 50%, and I feel like I really didn't even do all that much. I just like hung around the power CZs for a little bit. But I am very, very glad that they added reinforcement to it, and it seems like things are finally moving. Now that they've added reinforcement to the CG, I'm going to be really curious to see how things go from here. I think now we've got an actual fight going on. Beforehand, it felt like no power was going to have any systems. They were all going to get undermined. So yeah, I don't know what they were thinking with that. It was a very weird decision. But I had fun with it. It was kind of nice to have an excuse to go back and do some power play stuff. I checked very briefly earlier. Let's go see what we're at. Let's see how our feet princess is going. She had managed to stave off 2 of her systems last I checked, and we're well on our way to reinforcing both of those, if I recall right. So yeah, we'll allow it. There we go. Yeah, it's an interesting one. Now that they've kind of fixed things a little bit, I am very curious how things are going to go. I don't know how much I'm going to actually take part in most of it. Okay, no presents. No presents. Okay, but we're about ready to take another one. I don't know. It always feels like a lot of these power play things kind of come down to 2 powers, Aisling and Archer. Maybe Mayan this time. It's, I don't know. They have things weighted very weird. And every time Aisling has gone head to head for like Soul and all of these other systems, the people with combat mechanics and combat ethos, I feel like almost always win, because most of Aisling's stuff has been nerfed to the ground. But it's also gonna be interesting because I know the Aisling team that actually heads up a lot of like the power play strategy and stuff. They're very good at what they do, so I don't know how they're going to approach this, if they're even gonna like approach it or just kind of let people do whatever they want. So I'm curious if maybe the strategy can win out over the ethos stuff. But yeah, it was very, very badly weighted towards combat powers, but you know, they've done a little bit of work since then. We'll just have to wait and see. I don't know if I'll be back in time to really take part in any of it, but you know, it's fine. It's okay. 0.23, 0.36. I need just like a really chunky planet. I need a really, really just big planet. Give me like 12 Gs. Give me the most Gs that I think I can find. And so I really want to test this thing on something that's truly high G. You know, usually on my trips, especially these really long trips out, I end up finding like, I don't know, a couple of planets over the course of like 1,000 planets that'll have, or 1,000 systems. So I'll find a couple, usually that have 3G or more. Get that old warning every time I get into the old SRV. It is interesting because this is the first time I've ever used the Scorpion, and I can't believe it's really taken me this long to use it, because it is a very, very good SRV. The handling is so much better. I don't have to worry about like skidding around on the sand and stuff. I was just very surprised. Apparently people don't like the guns on it, but like, when am I ever going to use that? I mean, I guess maybe I'll need to shoot some rocks or something like that if I need like some emergency fuel, but I've never had to worry about that. So yeah, I think it's going to be a keep. I think maybe the reason I was always holding off on it is I thought, I don't know what my reasoning was, but I think the weight on the ship is only determined by the vehicle hangar, isn't it? So like, yeah, you can really kind of do whatever you want and not really have any issues. All right. Now this thing does run a little bit hotter than the Mandy. But I found that, like, unless I'm at the beginning of a scoop, I can typically start jumping as I'm scooping. As long as it's like the back half of the scoop, it's really not too much of an issue. But if you are really, really close, you might want to fly out a little bit. But I haven't had too many issues. I think I had like one that was kind of like almost, right? Every time we jump, I'm going to have some dropped frames. That's what's going on. Yeah, I see. I don't know. The network in Elite has been very weird lately. So if it chugs a little bit while we're trying to move between places, that's just Elite's network. That's just whatever it does whenever I'm trying to jump. I don't know why. It's been a problem for a very, very long time. And it appears that it has not gotten any better. But yeah, getting into a new instance, changing instances, all of that, it hitches. And yeah. So it's just gonna happen. We'll just try and be chill in between jumps. Alright, quiet now. Quiet. Quiet, everybody. See what happens. Ah! Okay. Because, like, I notice it whenever I'm trying to do other things, too. Like, on the internet or whatever, whenever I jump. Like, sometimes I'll have Uma up while I'm just kind of chilling. You know, we get my dailies done and stuff. And, yeah, it really chugs in the middle of a jump. Alright, so we found a couple water worlds, but really nothing interesting. We passed by that one. It was only an icy planet with 2 signals, so I'm guessing it was going to be Bacterium and Frutexa. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. I have been lucky with Stratum lately, though. I think since I bought the Caspian, I've found like 3 or so that have it. Okay, which one is this? That's planet 4. Got it. Got it. Alright, we'll go ahead and start heading over there. Might as well scan it. I don't know if it's terraformable or not, but I feel like I haven't really scanned so much since we started the stream. But yeah, see? Like, I usually keep my cursor around here. If we are in the middle of like SEO overdrive, and then like once I get within like 1200 or so, depends how fast I'm going, right? But like you can't see the distance. It covers it up. And then yeah, you'll bring it up and then, you know, get to your autopilot, right? So yeah, the bar is very annoying. But that's really, I think, the only issue that I genuinely have with it. Like, look, it even has a little coffee cup. Even has a little coffee cup. I love it. I love it. That's a very, very, very beautiful ship. But aside from that, yeah, you know, I'm happy to be out in the black. I've been waiting and waiting to get it done. You know, I got everything kind of set up back at base. Back in the lagoon, you know, finished another war. I still need to flip the T3 over to Diamond Frogs, but I don't know how many wars that's going to take, because I don't know how it determines what is won and not. Usually, if you have like a bunch of settlements and stuff, it'll go surface port and then settlements, and then it moves on to something else. So I don't know if I start flipping these things to another war, if it's going to flag the T3 first, or if it's going to do a bunch of settlements I got to do, but it's very annoying. But everything else is set up. All of like the really popular shops in my system, they've been flipped. So the T3 I'm not as worried about. It actually does not have as good of a market as the surface ports or my Coriolis does. There's another Coriolis that I'm in the process of building, but I'm not like in any rush to do it or anything like that. So I think everything should be good. Yeah, there's like a little bit of a difference in the influence between me and our number 2. Like 6 points or whatever, but with the shopping taken care of, I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue. So I was like, you know what? It's finally time. I've been waiting for this. We'll just go ahead, head out into the black, make another journey. I want to hit those 10,000. I want to hit that 10,000, right? We are so close. I think I'm about 100 away. I do not have my ED discovery on right now. I usually don't, just in case I do find something like really cool. And then every time I dock or like to do another big jump with the fleet carrier, then I'll go ahead and upload, right? But last I checked, I was at like 98.65 or something like that, and I've jumped a fair amount since then, so we're very close to 10,000 first discoveries. I'm very excited. But yeah, you know, for this trip, I'm not really going anywhere in particular. The past few times I've been out, I would always aim for like a specific spot in the galaxy that seemed like it didn't have a whole lot of, you know, people that have been through it and all of this. And it's just really not as big of a priority this time. So I'm vaguely heading to some of the systems, some of my favorite systems that I've been to before. They're a little bit closer to the galactic core. It's really, at this point, just all about stellar density. You know, I'm looking, you know, vaguely for a green gas giant. See if I can find what number 70 is. I think the next one on the list. But, you know, I could play this game for 10 years and never find one. But at the very least, getting close to the core. It's got more density. It's got more stuff to go through. And it's just got more interesting systems. More black holes, more white dwarfs, that kind of thing. So I figured I'd start heading back up there. Way back when I first discovered a lot of these, I didn't know about like the high def screenshot option, you know, the Alt F10 that you can use. So I thought I'd go back up, visit some of my favorite systems that I found, get some updated screenshots, see how things have changed. You know, all of that was way before colonization and all of that existed. So a lot of these, I don't know like what the primary port is and all of that. Not that it really makes much of a difference. We're so far out that I don't think we will ever make it out this far before the game dies. If we're being real, I mean, we're out there, right? But you know, in case they ever up the range or anything like that, or give us a new option or something, I might as well go ahead and put them on the list and see what things look like. And who knows, maybe try and find something else that's kind of interesting to look at. Now that I've kind of given up on trying to find an undiscovered AAA system, right? The HMAS systems. Like, there's plenty of HMAS systems that are like Wolf Rayets and stuff that have still been unexplored. But I really wanted to try finding a ringed pulsar, and I don't think it's going to happen. I think all of the ringed neutrons and ringed white dwarfs have been found at this point. I mean, I have looked a lot. I mean, a lot. And it doesn't help that you can literally download an Excel sheet of all of the HMAS systems and just kind of like go down the list and go sector to sector trying to find them. There's only a couple thousand all told. So, you know, I always hear a lot about the old, oh, well, the galaxy has 2 billion stars. But I mean, it really, you can kind of tell how the stellar forges worked. And yeah, it is what it is. It's fine. We'll try finding some other stuff. And who knows? You never know what updates they'll add, because they have been doing really, really good with adding some new features, trying to update the game and just keep it nice and fresh. So we'll, man, I mean, I guess this one has some high metal content worlds. All right, well, we'll take a look. It's plain. There we go. Man, I'm just, I don't know. I haven't found a whole lot on this trip so far. When I first started, still kind of near Lagoon, you know, a lot of stratum and stuff like that, but not a whole lot now that I'm out there. But hopefully we should be through the arm after a couple of FC jumps. We should be through the wedge between the arms, and hopefully we'll start getting some more interesting stuff as we get closer to the center. Like, just getting out here and trying to test the Caspian, it was actually kind of hard. Just trying to find a neutron star, just to try boosting and see what that looks like. Once I finally got up to the lagoon, back to home base up there, you know, there's a couple in Makun that have found a couple neutron star systems and stuff. So that was good. But in that whole trip between, it was tricky. I couldn't find much. It was kind of hard to test. I know a lot of people just go to Jackson's Lighthouse. Seems to be the go-to. All right, what do we got? How many? Do I have anything worth landing at? No, not really. I could try this one, I guess. 248. Nope, not doing that. Even with the SEO. Even with the SEO, I'm not doing that. That's too much work. That's too much work. That's like, I don't know, a solid 10 minutes. Check this out. I've been trying to check out F-stars. I haven't really found... I think I found one Earth-like world when I first started heading out there, and then I haven't really seen anything since then. A couple water worlds. That's really about it. Have not seen a single ammonia world. So we still got a few things on the old checklist. Alright, but how you guys doing? How you liking the Caspian? Are you liking it as much as I am? I really, really like it. I really, really like it. So, I have a feeling this is going to be kind of my gold standard for a bit. But, you know, I do still bring the FC out for, like, screenshots and stuff. In case I do find, like, a truly unique system or something kind of interesting. I just want to make sure I have it available. I think most people, even though I've done a lot in a lot of different ships at this point, I think between here and Inara, I think a lot of people just kind of recognize the old cloud kicker, the old Annie. And so it's nice to have it. It's sitting in the old fighter bay. Sitting on the old fleet carrier. Just waiting for me to find something worth taking it out. Get some screenshots. You know, I've got the whole fleet. I got the whole fleet with me, and if I decide to break out the old exploration cutter, then I have that too. Or who knows, maybe I'll get really spicy and get out my exploration corvette. You know, I was looking a little bit at maybe joining Distant Worlds. I don't know. It's more of a time thing with the new job and all that. I don't know how much time I'm going to be able to commit other than the weekends to Distant Worlds on top of all of the other games and stuff that we play. So it seems really neat. I've never really done a big community expedition like that, but I know that they've always been a very, very big deal and have kind of pushed the realm of exploration quite a bit in the game. So, like, I do want to do it, but also I don't know if I can. But if I do it, I got to decide what I'm going to bring. Yeah, the Anaconda is going to be a lot slower, but it's also kind of my ship. Or I can bring the Caspian, but everyone and their brother's going to have a Caspian. So, man, I just really don't know. If I even do it. We'll see. We've got a lot of other things to do. So yeah, it's been a long week. I missed you guys. So we're gonna be doing a lot this weekend. Obviously we've got to do more Silk Song because I have not done any more of that. We still have quite a bit. Okay, where are you hiding? Where are you? Oh, of course it's behind this star. Why wouldn't it be? Why would it be easy? So yeah, I haven't touched it since then. We've got a lot of exploration to do in that game too, now that I've got my run and my boost jump, right? So we'll probably do that. We still got FF10. And then, you know, tomorrow Tomorrow, I don't know. We do have an FF14 live letter tomorrow. I don't know if we are going to do a live letter watch along for it. It will really kind of depend on what time I am awake and how I'm feeling. You know, I like doing the live letter watch alongs. I've kind of noticed that we haven't had as many people kind of like into them lately as we used to. And I feel like we already got a lot of information from part 1. So I don't know how much new we will really learn in part 2. Obviously, we'll get the trailer and that kind of stuff. It's just, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. I think it's like 6 a.m. my time, which is normally my work hours. It might not be an issue, but also those live letters are like 2 hours. So I got to kind of keep all of that in mind. We'll just kind of put a pin in it. We'll just wait and see. You guys know me. We don't really do schedules. I'm not going to promise anything until we actually do it. I do also want to do another guitar stream at some point. Man, everything out here has already been discovered. What the hell? And I guess we are in the gap. I guess we are in the gap. I mean, if it keeps being this way, then I might just head over to the fleet carrier and start chasing it down again. All right. Let's see. There we go. There we go. I mean, I guess, I don't know. Maybe it is because of this B star out here. You know, usually when you have a very brightly colored star like that, everyone kind of beelines to it when there's not a whole lot else around it. So, you know, it could be one of those situations. And I think I am kind of close to the one of the NGC nebulas. So I guess it's not that far out. Yeah, look at this shit. Now, whether or not they've been like discovered, who knows? All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna start making my way over to the carrier. Yeah, see, we're about ready to pass through NGC. So yeah, let's just go ahead and do it. I'll probably end up setting it on another flight. But I do want to land at it just so you can see the build that I've got going on with it. Everyone's posting their Caspian builds and all of that. I figure I might as well join the crowd. Right? I might as well do it. It's for the content. It's for the views. Gotta join the train, I guess. I don't know. I feel like if you've done any kind of exploration, you kind of have an idea of what the bog standard builds are going to be like. There is a little bit that I don't have on it in terms of engineering and experimentals, just solely because I forgot to do them before I started heading out. You know, sorry about that. I forgot to buy like the Mark II thrusters because I forgot that they do the anti-grav stuff. So I was just purely looking at like weight and distance and ignored like the whole feature with the Mark II. So I was like halfway back to the lagoon reading up on more stuff with the Caspian and realized, oh shit. Okay. Thankfully, the old Frogs of the Lagoon hub, our old 2-mast system we've been working on, it sells everything. So I was able to get one, but because I was already out there, I couldn't add strip down to it. So yeah, missing strip down on the thrusters. It's not a huge difference. It's, I don't know, like 2 light years or something like that. And as you can see, like, I'm not doing max jumps all the time. I only really do max jumps when it is time to get back to the carrier. That is about it. Every other time, like, we're exploring. We're trying to find something cool to look at. So I don't mind doing 15 light year jumps. All right, let's scoop it up. All right, what do we got? Ices. Get out of here. I'm not even going to bother. I'm not even going to bother. I do need to find a couple things. A bacterium, I think. So I guess I could land at them. Like the CG, the thing is with the CG, I don't even know if I'm going to be back in time to finish that. It's what, 2 weeks? I think they've been doing 2 weeks on most of these CGs for the past while. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be back in time for that. But we'll see. For the old Inara badges, I think there's still, I don't know, like 15 different types that I've got to find or something. Get my next rank. All right, so we've got a high metal content. That's not too bad. There we go. I feel like every time I park my FC, I've been running into Stratum, so maybe that'll be a good sign. I could use the money. God, that tritium's really expensive. Like, it is nice that I don't have to land at like fleet carriers that are selling it at like a 2,000 markup anymore. But I don't think any of the stuff that I've built so far has it at a very good price yet. Like, it's reasonable, but it's not great. It's still, you know, almost $1 billion to fill up the fleet carrier to the max. I only filled it up about halfway this time. I was doing some math and I'm like, you know what? 15,000 tons can basically get me across the galaxy, so I'm fine with that. I'm not going to be going that far. If I do want to go up to Beagle Point or something like that, then I'll probably just, like, I don't know. I might take the fleet carrier up to Rikers, just park it there, and then just do the rest in this. See how that goes. It has been fun seeing what people have been doing with it. I don't know if anyone has visited like a truly unexplored system, but I have noticed that a few people on Reddit have reached systems that were previously only reachable via fleet carrier. So they're doing it with just the ship, which is really nice. Kind of wild to think about that we have a ship that can outjump a fleet carrier. Now whether they can get back, who knows? Who knows? I mean, I guess as long as they're visiting systems that are within fleet carrier range, someone can get down there to go rescue them. But yeah, once they start really trying to explore the true outer reaches, you know, the real fringes of the galaxy, there's going to be a few people that are just literally one and done, just marking the system on the old map, getting the info uploaded, and then blowing up the ship. You know, that's really all you can do. Which kind of sucks because they're not even going to be able to like upload that data, right? They'll probably be able to like put it on a Naro or whatever, but in terms of like actually getting the data uploaded, nah, they're done, man. How are they going to do that? The only way out is to blow up your ship. But it is kind of exciting to think that, you know, there are a few systems out there that that we can finally reach after all this time. Who would have thought? Not me. I don't really do much with the fringes. I like my stellar density. I like trying to find weird stuff that can only be found in like black holes and neutron stars and that kind of thing. All right, so that's where we're going. We're going up to where there's plenty of those. All right, what do we got? What do we got? Anything good? Bacterium and what else? What else? Stratum, there we go. Whee! Who would have thought? Who would have thought? All right, here's the nosedive. Here's the nosedive. I love this thing so much. It just makes things so much faster. So much faster. All right. Then you hit that drop. You start going 3.5 kms instead of 2. Oh man, it's so nice. But yeah, you really got to kind of clench the cheeks a bit But hey, that's what the thrusters are for. That's why we got the Mark IIs, right? Ayo. Look at that. Already there. God, the handling on this is so nice. B. And now we auto land. Now, one of the big things with it is that it supposedly had better landing capabilities. I have not noticed that as much. I still kind of bump into things with auto land on. Like, it's got a smaller profile on its landing gear. Like, they're all kind of in the center. But I think I've bumped into things more with auto land on this than I have anything else. It's not super accurate, if we're being honest. It's yeah, it's still a little wonky. All right, well, we'll just point ourselves in a direction and go. Stratum's got like a 500 or is it 800 difference. It's not Tectonica. That's okay. That's okay. We might as well put it on the old list, and we'll keep that in the back pocket. Keep that for the old CG in case I make it back. Arianemus. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. That's fine. Okay, so we got 500 meter. I got my old... I got the old elite observatory on. Still one of my favorite add-ons. If you've never used it, I know you can use ED Materials Helper. And there's a lot of bacterium. I might actually be able to get that one done this time. We'll try it. Ooh, a rock. Let's test the guns on this thing. I am curious about it. Well, maybe I'll test the guns. There we go. There we go. Got some carbon. Yeah, because I have never used this for really anything, for being honest. Oh, my sulfur storage is full. Well, that's fine. Have anything else? No. Okay. Stow that away. Right, how far out are we? That's all right. I've got more than enough to synthesize some fuel if I have to, but so far I haven't needed it. Yeah, I got the old FC. That shouldn't be an issue. I am excited to get back and try some of the new ground combat. I've heard the new ground combat is really fun. I mean, again, it's all relative to Elite. I don't think it's going to reach Battlefield levels of combat, but I have heard that the improvements are really, really good, and people seem to be enjoying it, and that it's also, you know, fairly challenging for once. I'm kind of scared about that. I really liked my loop for pulling plugs, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to really do that anymore. All right, is some of this bacteria over here? Yeah, there's just bacteria everywhere. I love it. I love to see it. Like, all of the planets that I've been landing on, the bacterium's been easy to like see. It just doesn't spawn. It just doesn't spawn anywhere. I think that's really my biggest issue with bacterium, is like, not whether or not I can see it. I've gotten pretty good at spotting it. Even on the old icy planets, it's the distance, right? That 500 to 800, and it only spawns near craters. Yeah, man, it gets rough. All right, we've got our new suit. I am using the G5 from the CG. So we do have the new suit on. I really like it. I have not really had to push the limits or anything like that. Really, the only thing that I have to worry about is the improved battery. And I have noticed it is very, very nice with the improved battery. But, you know, typically I don't land on the dark side of planets. If I can find something that's got a really cool screenshot, maybe. But aside from that, I mostly stick to the daylight just because it is easier to see. But just the battery life alone has been a huge boost. Let's head over here. Yeah, it's not going to be far enough. Man, look at this. Man, it's just everywhere. This is the planet to go to if you want some bacterium. Wow. All right, well, we do have that other patch kind of back near the ship. All right, what do we got over here? Do we have anything? Any luck? Any luck? Sorry, I'm like spiking here. Give me just a second here. Give me just a second. All right. Yeah, it's been really weird lately. I don't know if it's just the weather. We had a lot of ice this week. Not like a ton, but just enough that it starts affecting things like, you know, our internet. All right, I think I'm going like the opposite direction than I need it to be. All right, so yeah, if it like lags a little bit, just bear with me. I feel like a lot of streamers have been having internet issues lately. I don't know if Cloudflare's doing something in the background or what, but I feel like I'm not the only one that I've seen that's been complaining about their ISP. And like I've got fiber. It's like a little local fiber carrier, and they're really good. It's just I don't know. It's the weather or something. And boom. All right. Man, this might be the easiest time we've had finding bacterium. I genuinely can't believe it. All right, and then yeah, we'll hit up the fleet carrier. I'll show you the loadout, and yeah, kind of give you an idea what to do for your Caspian. You know, there's a few things that I've got that you could probably undersize even more if you wanted to. I'm not brave enough to like undersize my power plant all that much. I'll do like 2 classes max undersizing. But like I've seen people that have like 2 or 3A power plants and just overcharge the thing. But I like my boosts. I like actually not having to deal with like loadout all that much. Like, I don't know if you've really seen a whole lot of what I do with my loadouts, but I don't deal with power priority at all. Like, I really don't. On like maybe one of my combat ships I do to a certain point. I definitely did when the Thargoids were around because that was kind of important because of the heat dispersion, right? Oh, I see what it is. I see what it is. Yeah, it's doing this every time I hop out. It's an elite thing that is just killing my internet for some reason. Just bear with me. There we go. Like I was saying, every time I switch to like a new instance or screen, it just dies. It just eats itself. There we go. All right, so we're going to do the best that we can. Just bear with me, I guess. It really does not like these loading screens. But yeah, as I was saying, I don't really deal with power priority. I know you'll have a lot of like min-maxers. Like, but actually, on your combat ships, it's so much more efficient. Dude, I clear CZs in like 5 minutes. I'm not super concerned about my efficiency. And yeah, it's not something I've really paid attention to. But if you are one of those players where that matters, one, how'd you find me? Two, you can undersize a significant amount on this ship, because again, even if you're doing neutron boosting, you don't take damage. You don't have to worry about falling out of super cruise in the middle of a jet cone. It's kind of wild. Come on. There we go. There we go. So touchy. Ugh. All right, let's get up to that carrier. And also you can hear the boost sound. I literally, like, I started laughing when I heard the boost sound for the first time. Because they really did go full on Star Trek. So listen to this. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. We turn those up. I don't even really need the voice volume up all that much. Yeah. All right, where's my carrier at? Where are we at? At 894. Am I in range? We really don't want to SCA too much on this one. All right, I'm not going to worry about turning in the exo bio. We're going to save that just in case. Like I said, I don't know if we're going to hit the CG or not, but you never know. I feel like I'm doing well enough. We're having enough luck finding bio that hopefully I can come back with another billion or so. Get out here and take a look. Look at it. So pretty. It's so pretty. Beautiful. I do want to see some new skins for it. I'm not a big fan of the skins that are out right now, other than the Galactic Edition, which I was not going to pay for. I do really like the Galactic Edition skin. It's just not worth it to me. But, worth 50 bucks, whatever they're charging for them nowadays. So yeah, but the CG skin that you get is actually a lot better than I thought. There's only one other Beyond skin, the teal, and it was like really teal. It's like the whole, wow, looking into the sky on that thing. But no, this one's white with the orange runner stripes, and it looks really good. So, like, I'm not opposed to doing the CG. I just don't know if we're going to get back. I planned on being out here for a good while. All right. The boost's a little under 400. Not terrible. But yeah, with this loadout, as you can see, we've got boost capability, which isn't really hard. I've got an undersized distributor, but if you put the extra charge engineering on it, it's not too bad. Oh, the old Yosemite. How you been? Been a while since I've seen you, buddy. I might need to put some more tritium in your holes. Let's take a look. I think I'm about half. I think I should be all right for another jump or two. I like to keep it topped off, you know? I don't know how long I'm going to be out here chasing it down. Whee. All right. We didn't make that much from Universal Cartographics. I'm guessing we'll probably have about, I don't know, 15 million, if that. Less than like one decent load of colonization hauling. Wow, okay, only 11. Alright, that's fair, but they should be mostly first discoveries at least. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Alright, so let's get down here and take a look. So this is my Caspian loadout. My exploration. Like I was saying, pretty Pretty much what you'd expect if you've watched my exploration videos before. It's basically all the same stuff you're used to, just on a Caspian instead of a Mandalay. No hard points, although you could put them on it, you won't lose too much. No utility mounts. I don't even have a heat sink. I don't really have to worry about any heat issues unless I accidentally crash into Sag or something. And then here we go. So you want this. Now, the weird thing with this is that it does have mass, so I have not engineered it. I'm not super worried about it. But yeah, it does have mass. But you do want the Mark II if you're going to do any planetary landings. The Mark II ablative is what gives you the nosedive. One of them, I think it was the mirrored composite, is currently not available. It's bugged right now, but they're planning on adding it in this week, next week, whatever. Honestly, I mean, I don't know why you would use anything other than lightweight for an exploration ship, but if you are making the Caspian destroyer, putting those 7 rails on it, you could definitely do the military on it. Power plant, I've got the 5A with 4 levels of overcharged and stripped down. You could probably be fine with 3. As you can see, that's almost too much. But if you do more overcharge, then you could probably take this down to like a 5D or a 4A. Like I said, I've seen as low as 2A. I don't know how they did it. They basically turned off everything in their power priority, if I remember right. But I don't deal with that. The lowest I'd probably go is probably a 4A. But it does more than enough. If you lower it a little bit more, I mean, like I said, I'm not doing max jumps every time. I'm not trying to speed run Colonia or anything like that. So I'm fine with my distance right down here, 77.09 laden. Or 77.03 laden and 83.05 on leaden. Okay. The gravity optimized thrusters. This is the one that I forgot to put stripped down on. Dirty drive, 4 ranks. It's cool. I did all of this very quick and dirty after buying it out in Lagoon. I think I ran out of mats to fully dirty drive it, let alone fly all the way back to the bubble to put stripped down on it. But yeah. Typically you do this and then put strip down. You're fine. You'll get another 3 light years out of it if you want. Mark II supercharge if you want to do the neutron boosts. Pretty standard, 5, and mass manager on that. Life support with max lightweight. Power distributor 5D with high charge capacity and stripped down as well. Only needed 3. If you're someone that toggles your stuff a lot, I don't know why you would. You can add more charge to it if you want, but this gives me a boost. You could do a little bit more engineering and you'd probably be able to like get a little bit more faster recharge on it, seeing it a little bit faster, like double boosting, but it's not too much of an issue for what I'm using it on. 8D sensors, of course, and fuel cap. One of the big things nowadays that I've seen a lot of people talking about is undersizing your fuel tank and the scoop. It's definitely an option. The thing takes so little fuel that if you want to undersize it to a 6C, you are more than capable of doing it. Like I said, this supercharged the SCO 6.8 tons. You're not going to be using a lot of fuel. So if you really want to eke out that extra 3 light years or whatever, undersize the tank. But I don't like doing it. I like being able to jump 20 jumps, whatever happens to be, without having to worry about it. So that's cool. And then all of this stuff, pretty standard 7A fuel scoop, Guardian drive, shield generator that feels mostly useless. It saved me from a couple bumps on the ground. I only have like 219 shield strength right now, right? It's enough shield to give the illusion of safety, but not too much because I'm not a coward. But yeah, you can put whatever shield on there you want. It's a bi-weave, I think. Yeah, I think it's a bi-weave, but I did strip it down, so you know, keep that in mind. Enhanced low power, by the way. AFMU, I never used that thing. I've got it all on my ships, but I've never used one. I think I used one once way back in the day. Planetary vehicle hangar with a Scorpion. Yeah. And then the pre-engineered Surface scanner. If you missed it from the CGs, you can buy these from tech brokers. It is really cheap. If you're doing any exploration, go unlock it. It's really good. It's literally double the surface range on all of your probes. It basically halves how much scanning you have to do. I love this thing. I have it on all of my exploration ships. I've got like 5 of these sitting around between various different things. But what's really crazy about this, I think I've got enough on the fleet carrier to kind of show you, is how little you lose putting on other modules. So if I wanted to load this thing up with cargo racks, if you want to make yourself a hauler, I can keep this exact same loadout. This same loadout. All of my exploration build stuff. And, oh, wrong one. I only lose a little bit. I only lose about 10 light years. And that is with a fully loaded a cargo hold in all of the additional spaces. If you wanted to make a true cargo carrier, this thing can carry quite a bit. I think right now I'm at like 414 cargo, something like that. 216. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. 216, that'll be enough to do your relic runs. If you want to do rare module trade or rare goods trading or something like that for power play, do a couple missions, and you still keep all of your range. Now, obviously, this is not a combat ship, so if you're going to be doing this with an exploration loadout, just be aware of any of the pirates out and about. But yeah, it's kind of wild how much you can fit in all of these extra slots if you really wanted to fill them up with limpet controllers and stuff and not really lose much at all. It's really, really impressive. But yeah, so that's my exploration loadout. That's my baby. But like I said, it's pretty standard. Really nothing you guys haven't seen on the channel before. Oh yeah, I did find a couple NSPs out and about. That's right. Let's go ahead and get this thing launched. Chase it down again. How much fuel? 68. Oh, that's even more than I thought. All right, we're good. We'll set it on its path home. And I'm like threading the needle between all these nebulas, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all because I'm like in the middle of a bunch of space that's already been discovered. Trying to find new stuff out here, man. It's kind of rough. Of course it's too far. All right, we'll send you there. It's bright. Why not? All right, there we go. Hello, if you're just joining in, you just missed me showing off the loadout. That's all right. You'll just have to go back and watch the VOD. But no, we're going to go out and chase this thing down. That's what we do here. Let's go aim for some of this. That's usually how I do it. I'll send the fleet carrier ahead of me, chase it down, turn it in. You know, it is much, much faster if you're trying to get from point A to point B to just like straight gun it. It's kind of impressive how fast the Mandalay can cross the galaxy. I love that boost. I love that boost so much. But we're taking our time. We're trying to find the cool screenshots and stuff, right? You can't do that if you're just skipping everything in between. And I want my 10,000 first discoveries. We're so close. We are so close. We'll get it this trip and beyond.
Speed restrictions have been lifted. Take care, Commander.
All right, what we got? We need to start, I don't know, we need to start going down on the plane a bit, I think. Get out of range of the NGC Nebula. And all of that stuff's been discovered at this point. Yeah, see. Now, some of it might have been discovered ages ago. So maybe, like, people have honked this system, but haven't necessarily, like, scanned all the planets or whatever. Yeah, let's start going down. Start aiming this way. Start going for some of these just kind of like normal stars, right? These kind of boring, M and G class stars that everyone skips. Because if we're being honest, I mean, if I'm trying to find a green gas giant, that feels like this system type most of them have been found in. It's just the really boring, you know, G and K class stars. They're just kind of out there, right? So, you know, you start aiming for F and A class stars or whatever, and you run into the issue where it's too hot. I think most of the green gas giants are supposed to be like supposedly within a certain temperature band, and it kind of gets weird with the temperature spawn on the colors. So yeah, you know, it's you want kind of like medium heat stars, I guess. Lone wolf pack, of course. Of course. All right, well, we'll just keep going down, I guess. I mean, again, I am still kind of like in the middle of the gap. Hopefully we'll get through it. And I'm headed right towards Qyuuzy. But by the time I get out there, I'm hoping the stellar density will be not as much of a problem. Alright, let's do it. Away we go. Yeah, you can see, I mean, it doesn't really go above like 90. It's you can jump while scooping without a problem. Like I said, you don't want to do it when you're right next to the star. I mean, you can in the Mandalay as long as you keep moving. But here it's a little hotter. Just a little bit. You can engineer it so that it's less hot if you want. I prefer the strip down, but I mean, you have options. Go with like a low emissions power plant or something. I don't know why you would, but you know, I had to do that with the Thargoid stuff. Man, everything over here. God damn, we're out here too. We're not anywhere close. Maybe it's because we're getting kind of close to the DSA carriers. I don't know. Man, this sucks. Do we need to go even further down? Way down. Yeah, I'm guessing it's because we're like right on the route to the nebula. That's going to suck if it's going to be like this the whole way out. Maybe I'll go up. Alright, come on, give me something. Should not have this much of an issue with first discoveries this far out. There we go. There we go. Much better. Of course it's only got one. Of course it's only got one. Why wouldn't it? Just our luck. Alright. That's fine. I feel like we haven't really found anything super interesting yet. The only thing interesting's been the ISP dropping on me. The Elite Dangerous netcode is probably the most interesting part of the game right now. But yeah, if you guys are planning on going out, wanting to make a trip, God damn it. Okay. So dumb. This is so dumb. We're so far out here. They're not having any luck. If you guys do want to make like a trip out, if you have missed my past streams, I have set up a Diamond Frog home in the Lagoon Nebula. It is right front and center, right here. There you go. It's got a little bit of everything that you need. And yeah, you can stop here. I do have a neighbor down here. I think, no, it's not this one. This one right here. CDC 104. Go to Woo Terminal. They have plenty of tritium for you. My system sells every ship and every module, so you should not have an issue if you want to like use this as kind of like a launching pad for whatever expedition you want to go on. You know, it's not a huge distance from the bubble, but I mean, it saves you 4,500 light years, right? Makes a nice little hub, either to go out to Colonia, go up to the center of the galaxy, or spread out from there. So if you're heading up this way, you can stop here at the Frogs of the Lagoon Welcome Center. Look for Great Hub. Look for Great Hub. You can look for Punk Hub. Really lucked out on that name. And look for Sterling Town, which is going to have its name changed eventually. I just got to flip it. Which, by the way, if you come out here and want to use this as a launching pad, do submissions for the Diamond Frogs while you're out here. It'd really help me out a lot. But yeah, it's got a little bit of everything you need. It's not quite a rainbow system. I don't know how much it sells in terms of like the tourism stuff, but it's got close to everything. It's missing a little bit, I think, of technology if you're going to do any colonization or anything like that. But manufactured materials, refinery stuff, CMMs, we got Russo obligation here. And I did a lot of work to make sure that the sites are pretty cool. So like if you go down and check out Burns site down here, you'll get a nice view of the nebula and the rings of the planet on the skyline. And it's a really cool, it's like in a little canyon that I found out there. So yeah, I put a lot of work into making sure that it looks cool while you're out here too. So you've got options. You got a lot of stuff you can go check out. But it makes a nice little launching pad. So I'll just do a little self-plug there. And you should go check it out anyways, because the Mercs and Macoun have done a lot to get the Lagoon Nebula up and running as a secondary bubble. They're all the way out in Trifid now. I don't know how close they are to reaching Omega. I'm not going to worry about colonizing out there. I've already warred enough to try and flip systems. So, you know, enough of that. But yeah, it does make a very, very nice launching pad for anything else that you want to do that's going to be taking you wherever you happen to want to go in the galaxy. So make it as a nice little trip. I do kind of wish that instead of Trifid, or I mean the Omega Nebula, like they want to do the trifecta up there. There's like 3 nebulas within 1,000 light years of each other. So it makes a nice little home. But I do hope that they start going up to the Great Annihilator soon and start making a nice colony up there for the Azura Initiative, who have been working up there for a very, very long time. Be kind of exciting for them to finally get a true hub, right? Instead of just a bunch of fleet carriers just sitting out there in space. Which admittedly is very cool that they've been doing that, but I think it'd be really nice for them to have a miniature bubble sitting around the Great Annihilator with like actual stations and stuff. They've worked hard for it. But I think that'll be the next stop is heading up to Sag A, right? All right, what do we got? Finally, a nice undiscovered system with gas giants. That's what I'm looking for. I've actually had a lot of trouble finding decent gas giant systems out here. All right, nested moon. Okay. Give me something good. This is all icy. This is all just bullshit. But that's fine, because even icy can have biologicals. Oh god, I'm going to have to go around the star, am I? Anything good? How about some big planets? How about some big beefy planets? I haven't had the large planet notification pop up in my Elite Observatory in a while. I just really want to test this thing on something that's got some actual gravity to it. Like, I found a couple that definitely, they're like high G, but you can't land on them. Yeah, I need something landable. There we go. Oh, I see. There we go. That's why. Nothing. No green. No green. Right, it's a literal 1 in a million chance. So I'm not super expecting anything. Hey, close orbit. What's that got? How close are you? Orbital radius 50,000. Parent radius 50,000. That's, I've seen closer. Kind of wild how some of these notifications I get mean very different things after you've been out here a while. Sometimes close orbit does not mean what I think of when I think of close. Like sometimes I'll get the old, like the close ring proximity, and it's like 2,000 kilometers away. And I'm like, that's not close. Call me when I'm like 100 kilometers away. Hmm. 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 I don't see the words this particular gas giant. That's what you got to look for. When you see the words this particular gas giant, it means it could be a Jolly Green. Some of them only have a couple specs. I mean, there's a couple out there that you can't even see anything. But it still has it listed as a green gas giant. But no luck. No luck this time. That's okay. So I always try reading the descriptions, just in case. You never know. With my luck, it'll be like the most uninteresting gas giant out there if I ever do find one. But, you know, at least I can put my name on it. But, you know, with the way the Stellar Forge works is, you know, when it created the galaxy, it actually does have chemical composition that's spread throughout the galaxy. So usually when you find like a system with a fair amount of them, the composition of the systems around that area are fairly similar. And you'll usually find like clusters of systems with gas giants in them, which is kind of nice. Of course it's been found. Why wouldn't it be? We're only like 10,000 out. We're only 10,000 light years out. Why would there ever be an undiscovered system out here? At least it's different names. At least I'm seeing names that I don't recognize instead of the same people that are scooping up all of the HMAS systems. Like the same 3 names over and over again when you start doing that. Alright, come on. Give me something good. I mean, Flu Haipue, or however you pronounce it. I've been out here a couple of times. I feel like I've stopped over here. You know, a decent amount on my trips up. So I think it's just one of those things. We might just have to like skip through this place and get a little bit closer up to the Galactic Center. And that's fine. I don't mind. We're going to go down a little bit more even. What do we got? What we got over here? Man, the density just sucks. We need to get through this arm. Yeah, we're like right in the gap. That's a big part of it. That is a major reason why we're having so much trouble here. We're gonna hoof it. We're just gonna hoof it, and what we find along the way is what we're gonna find. And we'll still be in range of the fleet carrier. So that's nice. I can keep sending it along its way and not get too far ahead of it. All right. Yeah, so are you guys having fun in Elite? I think it's been a good year. Now that we're in December and can start doing retrospectives, right? And I'm not going to be doing a top 10 games list. I don't think I played 10 new games this year. But in terms of Elite, it's been very nice. I think there's been a lot of exciting stuff going on. A couple missteps, but nothing that they weren't able to overcome and fix and so on. So, you know, I am curious what next year's going to be like, because I feel like they're kind of running out of ideas for new ships. I think we need a new passenger ship at some point. But without doing a passenger rework, I'm not sure how that would really be received. You know, operations, I'm kind of like, eh. I think it'll be neat, but I'm not sure it's going to be something that I'm going to like do more than a couple of times. It's really going to depend on what the rewards are going to be like. It'll be very interesting to see how they handle something like a reward structure, which is easily the most important part of really any kind of dungeon system, right? Something, long-time MMOs have struggled with. So, do you trust FDev to know itemization? Maybe. Maybe they could surprise us. I think it's going to be kind of difficult, really more than anything else, if they don't have new items to find, right? I mean, materials would be nice. There's a couple materials like encoded and all of that. That's kind of a pain. Even with Jameson's crash site, I hate getting encoded materials. So like, it'd be nice if we can get some of those rewards, but like, of all the things that we already have, there's not something that I feel like is really a must-have, So without having like a true end-game system, what kind of itemization are they going to have? Like, why would we be doing operations? Is it something that's going to help power play? Is it, I don't know. There's still a lot of questions about it. I'm sure they'll do another development blog before they release it. I don't hate the idea of it. I think it'll be fun if they can do it right. If if all of the ground combat that they've been doing is getting so much good reception, and I've heard a lot of really good things about the ground rework. That's a good sign. I think the devs are getting a little bit more used to the system, because I've talked about this before, right? Like, most of the FDev team that have been working on this, that everyone has been really salty about all of these years, like, they're not there anymore. They're gone, man. It's a completely new dev team at this point. The old team's been laid off and all kinds of other stuff, or just quit, resign, whatever. But the new dev team, I think they're doing a really good job, but they don't have 10 years of working with the Cobra engine, and I think they're slowly figuring it out. Just from what I'm seeing with how they've been about patching bugs and adding the new content, it feels like they're slowly getting used to how the Cobra engine works and where to find certain aspects of content and how to tweak it. So that's a good sign. So, I'm not going to say no until we get in there and actually do some operations and see what they involve and all of that. But beyond that, what's going to happen with the other new content if they keep releasing new features? Who knows? I'm kind of excited though. I feel like they've hit more than they've missed. They had a couple misses. Vanguards is kind of whatever. UI overhaul's nice, I guess, but it didn't really add a whole lot new. But colonization, I feel like, has been really good. Yeah, there's always going to be people complaining about the balance and that kind of thing. And some people just straight up hate hauling. And I can, I admit that it does get to be a bit much. It'd be nice if they could make it a little bit easier. But given the fact that we've already gotten up to the Lagoon Nebula and beyond, I don't think there's really been an issue with how fast people are moving, right? So I think it's a good foundation in colonization. They could tweak a couple of things, and I wouldn't say no. But it's been probably the biggest new feature that I think's ever been added to the game. And then obviously all the new ships are really fun. I really like most of the new ships so far. The only one that's been kind of like is the Cobra Mark V, and even that has this kind of like little niche. Even the Type 8, like my Type 8's been, I didn't expect it to be, but my Type 8's been my mission runner. Just because it's got more cargo than the Corsair, and it still boosts at 500, like, yeah, why not? Sure, we'll use the hauler. But I do like the Corsair quite a bit too. It's got a little bit more oomph to it. If I do need to, like, fend off some pirates or something like that. Got that thing loaded up with some frags, some passive fires. It's good to go. I haven't tried the T11 yet. I'm still waiting for credits on that one. I'm kind of surprised that they didn't put that up. I can't imagine that anyone that still wants the T11 is still going to buy it at this point instead of just waiting for the credits. But they've got their metrics that they see, so who knows. But I think I will like the T11 once I buy one. I don't do that much mining. Maybe once I get back to the bubble and do some power play stuff, I'll get back into it, but it hasn't been a huge issue for me. Jesus Christ, okay. We are just not having any luck, friends. I don't know what is going on. I don't know why it's so hard to find undiscovered systems this far out. I hate this nebula. I hate this nebula so much. Yeah, okay. Once I get through this jump, we're gonna look at the gal map and see where I am in relation to the NGC nebula. Have we passed it yet? Are we on our way elsewhere? We're almost 1,000 below the plane. Like, come on, man. Like, this is an F star. This one's definitely been discovered. There's no way it hasn't. Yep. Look at that. Who would have thought? All right. I didn't see a lot of planets pop up. Yeah, they just skipped them because they're all ices. So yeah, this is all very old exploration, it looks like. This is people that honked and then moved on because ExoBio didn't exist yet. That's the vibes I'm getting here. All right, so you know, it still might be worth it to at least do one FSS scan every time we check something out here. Nothing else, we'll at least get the planet discovery. Okay, so it's behind the star, of course. Was that far enough? Let's SEO it just a little bit. Here we go. Cool. Where are you? Where did you go? Where? There it is. There. Nice. Oh, that's kind of neat. Landable? Of course. Of course not. It is the problem I'm running into. I find a lot of these cool big planets, but they're not landable. I can't do anything with them. All right, kind of a boring system. Wow. All right. Well, just keep going, I guess. Let me set my fleet carrier on the next jump. All right. Did I overshoot too much? I overshoot a little bit too far. We're gonna keep this on the plane, on the current trajectory, just so I'm still like looking at the system I'm trying to get to. Okay. All right, that's about as far as I can go. And yeah, if I have to go up, I have to go up. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I can do 5 jumps. 5 more jumps before I got to go back. Hopefully that'll be enough to cross this gap, and that'll make things a little bit easier. Because yeah, a lot of this being old exploration, they were in those little, you know, they were doing in their DBXs and stuff, doing 30, 40 light years at a time, if that. Like these stars, so on. That was really the only place they could jump. And now I'm just skipping all of it. Skipping all of it in a single jump with the Caspian. You'd love to see it. It's progress. That's humanity. Drink my water. Speaking of, I've been reading, you know, on my overnight shifts. I've got nothing to do, so I've been reading a lot of The Expanse. And yeah, I'm on book 2. Caliban's War. It's really good. I really, really like it. It's been very fun to see the differences between the books and the show. Like, for the most part, the show really does stick to all of the moments in the book pretty well. Even some of the lines are like straight out of the books. A lot of Amos's lines, right? But it has been interesting to like see at least some of the small changes that they made like really affect the story quite a bit. Like a lot of the stuff going on with Bobby is completely different in the books and then what happens in the show. I mean, like the big moments are still there, but a lot of the stuff with like her and Mars and all of that, like it's not in the books at all. Like it's completely different. And yeah, it's been kind of cool to read. I'm really enjoying it. I don't know. Playing this so much lately just kind of got me into reading them. And like I don't really read a lot of sci-fi. So it's probably the first genuine sci-fi series that I've read maybe since high school. I mean, I guess I've chipped away at Dune every now and then. But Dune's kind of hard to read sometimes. Like it's definitely an older book. And like I've got it on my Kindle which has like some weird formatting and stuff that makes it a lot harder to read than it should be. Yeah, it's not something that I read a whole lot of. So it's been kind of nice. Because it's sci-fi, but it's also not like super obtuse sci-fi. It's fun sci-fi. It's very much for the masses kind of sci-fi. There we go. All right, but I also have Red Rising sitting around somewhere, so I got to start in on that series at some point. But man, The Expanse is so big. It's huge, man. It's what, 9 books? I'm only on book 2. We're going to be at it a while. Ow. Nothing. Just 1. I mean, it's just going to be bacterium. I'm not going to deal with that. I'm not dealing with that. Alright. Come on. Give me something. Give me something interesting. Otherwise, I'm just going to go back to the fleet carrier and then just like AFK jump until we're through this gap. It's weird because like we're kind of close to the convergence of 2 of the arms. So like the density feels like it should be more than it is. You know, you get out there to like some of the parts on the outer spur. It gets real sparse. All right, yeah, jump to all the uninteresting ones. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. That'll give us what we want. Okay, well that's fine. There. All right, icy bodies. What do you got? Anything good? Give me some plants. We've only landed on 1 planet so far. We didn't even get the good stratum. We got to find something. Find something interesting. And the thing is, like, even these boring systems, these boring stars, they can still have, like, small bodies, large bodies. I feel like the variance isn't quite as wild as, obviously, like a black hole or something in terms of the views. But honestly, a lot of the really kind of, like, interesting planets and stuff, you can really kind of find those anywhere. You don't have to specifically aim for the brighter stars. A rock is a rock, you know? Okay, or you can just give me nothing. That's fine too. Like, even if you wanted to like come out here and do some colonization, there's just nothing. That's rude. Godspeed to whoever wants to come out here and build. Honestly, I don't even know if they can. I feel like most of the stars have been within 15 light years, but there's been a couple of these jumps that they're going to be like rerouting a fair amount. All right, what do you got for me this time? What do you got? It's been discovered. Okay. Well, that's bullshit. Ugh. We're gonna go down further. More. More. Okay. Well, we're still gonna FSS it. Okay. Really nothing, but at least the planets haven't been discovered. It's just been honked. That's fine. But it does mean that, like, if we do run into, like, an Earth-like or something like that, it'll do that. That definitely would have been found. We're not going to skip something like that. Right. But, I mean, the other point of this trip, aside from just trying to get good screenshots, is to try and recoup my funds a little bit. So, you know, with the exobio and stuff, it's still good to kind of look. Man, just none of these are landable. I need a high G landable. Come on. I want to test these thrusters out. I really put them through their paces, right? What do we got? This is an F star. Probably discovered. But it's okay, because once we get through this gap, the stellar density just starts shooting way, way up. Way up. And so hopefully we'll have a lot more. You know, it's almost too much. Like, that's my one complaint about going this close up, is that the view isn't as good because everything is just yellow. Right? The stellar density gets so high and there's so many stars that it just looks like pee. It does. It just piss yellow everywhere. And you know, I don't like that as much. I wish they would give us options to turn on the original legacy lighting if we wanted. But given how much trouble they've had just trying to get the current lighting to work, performance-wise, unfortunately, I don't think that's ever going to be a thing that's going to work. As much as I would like to see it, I would like them to, like, change some of the lighting and give us more dynamic lighting. Because yeah, you see some old screenshots from Legacy, from like Xbox players and stuff, and like they get cool purple lights and stuff when they're around white dwarves and, you know, wolf rayets and that kind of thing. And for us, it's all just yellow or white. It's very uninteresting. It can still look cool once you get down onto the planet itself, but that can take a bit. It can take a bit to find something worth it. You know, in a wolf rayet's case, I don't think I've ever discovered a wolf rayet that had anything other than the star itself. I've never found a wolf rayet that has planetary bodies in it. They're very hard to find. 1.74. Ah, bigger. Get bigger. Okay. Where are we going now? Oh, I still have one more jump. Okay. Whee! But like, I know there's wolf rayets out there that do have stellar bodies around them, because I've seen screenshots of other people fighting them, but it's super, super hard to find. And honestly, some of the big stars like that, the O-class stars are like that. Everyone's like, oh, I want to go to the big O stars, because a lot of those are HMAS systems too, but a lot of the O-class stars, you get there and it's nothing but the stars. It might have like a binary with it. Usually a G or a K, but there's not really a whole lot else other than the O star itself. There's not really a whole lot of landables or anything like that in most of those systems. So honestly, I've kind of stopped looking at a lot of them. Okay, maybe I need to go up. Maybe I need to go back up to where the density is a little bit higher. I don't know. I'm just like at a loss right now. There's just nothing. I mean, nothing here. To be fair, this is also the first time, I think, that I've really streamed like at the start of a trip. Because this is still pretty early. most of the time when I start streaming, we're like out here. We're like out here by the time that I actually start streaming my exploration. I don't know if I've ever really done it when we're like still in the entry region. Which, speaking of, while we're looking at this, I do want to see how they're doing getting over to Omega. They hadn't really started all that much last I checked, but it's been a couple of weeks. Yeah, they're really making some progress. I don't know. Yeah, you can tell they're slowing down a little bit, but they're still about halfway. They're still about halfway. They'll get there. It's one of those things where like they're really cool nebulas, but like I said, I was checking them out a little bit earlier when they were first starting the bridges from Lagoon to Trifid, just to see if I wanted to try and make a chain of my own to beat them there. Really, I was going to beeline to Omega directly, but there really wasn't a lot out there that I found super interesting. They've got a really good skybox. I really like the purple skybox more than Lagoon. But in terms of like the planet makeup and stuff, there just really wasn't a lot. There's a lot on the way, like in the gaps between the nebulas. A lot of water worlds and Earth-likes, but in the nebulas themselves, eh. And even for me, like I mostly do outside the nebula. I think once you get inside the nebulas, it's almost too much. But I didn't really see anything there either. I didn't check, obviously, every system. Or every system. But I checked a lot of them. Let's get this out of the way. Wow, just one planet. Okay. Fair enough. Now, this one I'm curious about. Like, I'm not going to go up to the nebula. I want to get past all that. I want to get to some more undiscovered space, right? But isn't this nebula? Let me see. I'm curious. At least we're getting some undiscovereds here. Not a whole lot planet-wise, but it adds it to my list, right? Go forward. It'll be done scooping by the time I get there. Alright, so this has colonization on it. There we go. Yeah, NGC 6357. Okay, I don't think it's this nebula then. Maybe it's the other NGC that's closer down here. Right? But wasn't one of these nebulas... Maybe it's this one. Like a pirate base or something? I think it was. It had like a legendary pirate or something like that. And this was the furthest discovered, like, populated system. I think it's this one, yeah. And then they like had an event or something like that that pushed the pirates out or something like that. I was just reading a little bit of lore. But this nebula, wow, this NGC is quite a bit bigger than I thought. Looking at it. Yeah, I thought it was just a tiny little thing. No, it's pretty gigantic. But again, not much point to go into it if it's all been discovered. Pretty much assume any nebula, most of the systems inside and around it have already been looked at. It might give you an idea if you want to do some like really long range colonization, right? I mean, really long range. All right, let's take a look. Hasn't been discovered. Okay. That's good. It at least gives me something to scan. That's kind of a neat looking one. Really recognize those as high metal content worlds. Usually those are like just metal. Make sure it's not behind the star. Okay, where are you at? Where are you hiding? We've got like a weird elliptical orbit right now. That's what we're looking for. There you are. All right. Well, yeah, we found some class 4s. That's kind of neat. This was a class 5, right? Yeah, it's a big boy. That's a chonky one. Take a look, anything good? Wow, that's huge. That is a big ass planet. That is a big ass planet. Hmm. I'm sure. I mean, they're all big planets here. None of them landable, so it doesn't help me at all, but... Okay, then. That's kind of a cool system. I'm surprised. Oh, of course it's been discovered. This is a B-type star. Should have guessed. Should have known when I came out here. Alright, let's go back to realistic. And what about some of the systems around it, though? Yeah, people looked at all of these. I'm guessing they have. And our jump is done, so give it a few minutes and then we'll send it on its merry way. Yeah, I think the fleet carrier I'm going to keep like on the plane. I'll worry about going above and below the plane once we get closer to the galactic core. Right now, I'm just worried about stellar density. Too far below and too far above. It's just too sparse. It's all been discovered. At least here I'm finding more undiscovered stuff. Whee! Alright, what do you got for me? Our little yellow sun. Our little sun. Alright. Fair enough. Fair enough. Alright, 20 planets though. That's something. And some asteroids. Eh. Alright, but they're all undiscovered. Let's see if we can find some bio. Exobio to do or something. Come on. There we go. Where are you at? These asteroids. These have all been looked at. What's the deal? Why only that star but not these? Huh. That's a weird choice. Like, I know a lot of these systems that we're in were probably discovered way back when you still had to physically go to the planet to like discover it, right? Before FSS was a thing. But I don't think they changed the jumping point when they updated everything. So they should have still like jumped in at this star. I'm just curious why that one star in particular. Huh. Interesting choice. But you know, that's fine. Gives me more to look at. Anything good? One bio. Nothing really. And they are high metal. We'll take a look at this one since it's a terraforming candidate anyways, and it's close. It'll probably just be bacterium or like one of the cheaper stratums. But we might as well scan it and map it. Get the terraforming bonus. We're taking this trip to try and get money. I'm doing very badly at it. Hey, it really is like real life. I'm lost in the middle of nowhere with no direction or aim. It's a little close to home, Elite. Why are you doing this to me? Alright. Yeah, if you've never seen the extended probe radius, welcome. Yeah, this thing's great. If you missed it in the CG, again, you can get it from a tech broker. It's like a bunch of medium materials. It's not too bad. You can get them in an hour or so. But yeah, it's a big difference in terms of the probe radius itself. Let's get down there to 3 million per second and shoot them off. There we go. How many we got? 6? Okay. For 6, I usually do 4. You probably don't even need that many if you can, like, trifecta it. It's already fast enough. I'm not super worried about it. Like, by the time I can even land on it, like, those things are still flying, so I could really take all the time that I need. Yeah, just bacterium. Go figure. Go figure. All right, well, before we fire off again, let's keep moving it along. Let's try and get out of this gap. I got to make my way up there eventually to refuel it, but aside from that, I think we can still make it a decent way. How far are we here? Hey, wow, okay. It's like right on the line. Man, still not a lot of stars around there, huh? And how big is this gap going to be? I feel like I'm really kind of like flying through it. Let's try some of the boring stars. See if maybe we have some luck there. All right. Like, I really want to check out some more interesting star systems, but they've all been found around here. Once we get up there to where I'm going right now, once we get up to some of my favorite systems, they're going to be, you're doing nothing but black holes and white dwarves and all of the weird stuff. Can't remember which side of the galactic core it is that has like all of the blue type stars, the O types, the B stars, a couple A's thrown in there for good measure. It's a really interesting place, but it's I think southwest or southeast part of the core. Okay, just a bunch of stars, got it. But at least these have not been looked at, so that's a good sign. Keep going. Okay. I'm curious about that A type over there. I have a feeling it's already been poked, but we're gonna check it out anyways. We got 15 minutes before this fleet carrier jumps, so we got time. Like, once we get up there and refuel, if this is going to be a problem, I'll probably just start jumping pretty far out. And then just let the fleet carrier catch up. Because, I mean, that'll be 10,000 light years that it can jump. So, you know, that'll be enough to cross the gap, I think. Wow. Really giving me a lot to work with, buddy. Okay, well, cool hat, I guess. All right. Alright, we're doing the tiny jumps. Don't even need the Caspian for this. I could do this in my Warvet if I needed to. Alright. Is that the part? Alright, I probably need to load up ED Discovery and see what I'm at. See how close I'm getting. I feel like I'm almost there. I'm almost at the mark. Let me turn it on just in case. Like, man, that first half first little bit we did really good, and then we had the big gap of just all previously discovered systems, and now we're getting some more that are undiscovered. I don't know what my numbers are going to be like. I don't know where we're at. Come on. Load up. Load up. Oh no, I can't find the Class 8 FSD. Whatever will you do? I do like that they were able to get out an update to EDD before the patch. I guess the developers of it are being given access to the beta now, which is really good. It's really, really helpful. So, you know, Caspian dropped and everything was ready to go. We didn't have to worry about anything. Yeah, go figure. That's what I thought. We're scanning it anyways. All right, did it upload everything? Let's take a look. Go to my dashboard here. Synchronize. Send. All right. Okay, so we have not had as much luck as I thought. I'm at 9876. So yeah, I will still definitely be able to do it this trip out here. We're not going to be able to do it probably on this stream. But I feel like we're making some good progress if we can just get out of this kind of no-go zone. Get away from this nebula a little bit. Have a lot more luck. Yeah, if I start getting really close, you know, we might stream that again this weekend. Try and maybe do a special stream, reaching 10,000 first discoveries. I think that might be kind of fun. We'll just play it by ear. You guys know me. That's just how we do it. Hey, there we go. But at least we're in an area where all of the M classes are still fresh. I mean, they don't have anything in them. This is why they keep getting skipped. These K's, these G's, these M's. But I'm not going to say no. Maybe this will be the one. Maybe this will have the Jolly Green in it. You don't know. You don't know. Could be anywhere. Maybe the Jolly Green was inside of us all along. Sure, on certain parts of the internet. You can find some artwork of that if you really want it. Oh, but we're gonna drop. We're gonna drop. Maybe we will. Maybe, yeah. Oh, is it gonna make it? It's struggling. It's struggling. Good old elite net code. It's trying its best. Pray for it. I don't even know if you guys can hear me. Hey, there we go. Hey, before we do this scan, let me check my router. I gotta see what's going on right now. It's weird. Ever since my brother got arrested, I haven't had any issues with the internet. Imagine that. I think it's just an ISP thing. All right. So let's take a look. 26. That's a good sign. Nice. Nice. Look at all this. Look at all this. And none of them are behind the star. Oh, I love to see it. I love to see it. All right. And an ammonia world. Oh, water world. Okay, that's B2. Gotcha. We got to remember that. How far out is B2? That's the other question. If it's another one that's 200k out, I'm not dealing with that. We got too many other places to be. Okay. Come on. There we go. All right. What else? Wow, I got quite a few out here. They're all around this star. There we go. I wouldn't be opposed to an update to the FSS. It's not the most interesting thing in the world, I admit. All right, what do you got for me? Another white and blue one. They're kind of neat looking, but it's not green. It's not green. That's the only color I'm worried about. There we go. Ammonia-based life? Okay. I feel like the really extravagant looking Jolly Greens are all water-based and ammonia-based. Like some of the class ones have some of the interesting bands to them, but it's not... like some of the bigger ones, those are the ones where like they might have green in them, or listed as green. Whether they do or not, you don't know. Oh, hello. Hello. All right now. But we got to go scan this one anyways, and then we'll hop over to B1. You know, I will go out 250k for a for 6 biosigns. That's fine. Let's see how fast we can cover this. The thing is, the SCO on this, it's really efficient, but it's also slower. The Mandy can get up to about 4,000 C, right? Properly fitted. This is like 2.5. So it is a much, much slower SCO. I mean, really any SCO is better than none. Like doing this distance in the old ones, in the old FSDs was just pain. But, you know, it's doable. But you can see like it's not quite as efficient as the Mandalay. It's just harder to tell because the tank is so much bigger, but it is quite a bit more draining. And yeah, you can see we're topping out at 2.9 versus the Manny, so it's about 1,000 difference. But, you know, we're still covering it pretty quickly. It's taking less fuel than I thought, which is nice. But we're gonna have to sit at the next jump and scoop for a second. All right, so we got a couple things here to scan. I didn't see if this one was a terraformable water world. Okay, and you can also see it bucks around a little bit more than the Mandy does too. Mandy is so smooth. This one you still gotta kind of keep your hand on the wheel, just a little bit. Whee! See how fast this thing can stop. That's something I haven't really tested, is how fast it leaves a gravity well. Yeah, pretty good. All right. Not bad. Could be worse. Stopped a little bit further out than I thought, but that's okay. We needed to test it. That's all right. Jesus, take the wheel. Okay. I just hope there's something interesting on this one. It's going to be like a bunch of Osseous and stuff. At this point, I just completely ignore Osseous. They look cool. They're kind of neat when you see them pop up on the scanner, but like the 1,000-meter radius and all of that is just, it's too much. It's too much. It's a pain to get Osseous. Alright, how far is B2 gonna be? Wait, no. Where am I? Where am I? So I'm looking for C1, not B. Okay. Oh, because that one's B. Wait. This was the load-in star? Okay. Interesting. Alright. I want C1. How far is that? The 198? 200-ish? That's not too bad. Hop over there. We haven't found a big payday. Haven't found a stratum tectonica yet. Hell, we haven't even seen any tubus. Where's my beloved tubus? In my day, we all love the tubus. Oh, kind of a cool one. Wait, is this the water world? I don't think this is the water world, is it? No, we completely skipped the water world. Ah. Up there, that's fine. That's fine. Alright, that's my bad. I guess we're not scanning that one. And it's not terraformable anyways. It's only like 1.5 million if it's not terraformable. The biologicals on this will will more than make up for it. I'm not concerned. Alright, time to touch grass. Our low payout grass. Wow, even connecting to my router. I might have an issue with my wire or something. Let's see here. Yeah, it's really spiking. So I'm sorry. It's going to be kind of a scuff stream. We're just doing what we can, but it's rough. It's very rough. Who is on my network? Who is doing this to me? There we go. Now it went back up. Now it went back up. What else is here? The TV. Well, I'll get it figured out before tomorrow's stream. I don't know what we're going to do yet. I don't even know how bad the networks is really going to be needed if we're going to do FF10 or something. We'll see. If I'm going to do the live letter watch along, that might be an issue. But outside of that, Hey, did you get done jumping? Hey, look at that. Yeah, we're gonna send you out there, man. We gotta get past this gap. We gotta go find some new places. Go exploring. What do we got? It's an ugly planet. The color of puke. Hopefully it'll look good once we get down there. A lot of these planets look like garbage from the sky. But once you get down there, they look a little bit better. Alright, so we got 6 bios. Should have plenty of options. And there's our stratum of Fungoidia. Fungoidia, our old friend. And it's like exactly the opposite of the stratum. I think there might be like a little overlap. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we're just gonna have to go down. We'll try and land somewhere that's like on the edge, somewhere that's like on the border, and then maybe I can get over there and like scope things out. Why are you doing that to me? Why are you doing this? Okay, I see what it's doing. It's really spiking. It might be a YouTube thing. Go faster than that. Come on. Don't be a coward. Straight down. Let's go. Whee. I said right about here. I don't know if we'll have any luck or not. Probably not. I mean, I guess I don't really need to go for the Frutexa. The Tussock will probably be worth as much as that is. There we go. There we go. Whee! And turn on our old landing pad. Come on. You got this, buddy. Nice. Yeah, you can see the auto land on this is not the best. It'll probably bump me here, and that's fine, but it's a very red planet. Very hazy. Like LA in the summer. Yep, see, here we go. Yeah, there's some issues with the landing on this. Despite all of the, like, a hullabaloo about it having better landing. It really doesn't. It still gets very weird. Whee. Alright, now finding things here is going to be a pain in the ass. Are you Stratum? Yes, yes. Yes, money. I love it. I love you, Stratum Tectonica. If you let me out. Mmm, delicious. Look at this shit. Look at this. 70 million. Alright, well, at the very least, we'll have plenty waiting for me when I get back home. Yeah, we do need to go up and hit up the fleet carrier, refill it, all of that, and send it along its merry way. Okay, now whether or not I'm going in the right direction, I don't know. That's going to be another issue. Are we 500 yet? Ah, just barely not enough. Ah, this is so dumb. This is so dumb. Okay. There's some. It's kind of hard to see. Everything's red. It's like I'm doing P3S again. Yeah, I'm not seeing any tussock or anything. No grass, nothing. Yeah, we landed in a very weird spot. I mean, ultimately, this is the only plant that matters, if you can even call it a plant. But I would have liked to have scanned a little bit more. Like, the grass is usually easy to find. The tussock, like, it's usually, once you find it, you've found it. You don't have to really search around a whole lot. It's got a very low colony distance. So even though it's not worth a lot, I still like scanning it. I might as well complete whatever I can that's in range, right? Like if I'm here, and who knows when someone else will ever visit, you might as well. It's free money. But if I can't even find it, then what's the point? Okay, there we go. There's a little patch of it. So we've got at least one spot. Get this stratum over here. And I have noticed that stratum and tussock really like to stay near each other, so that makes it a little bit easier too. Load them up. Now, I haven't ever found a stratum that's different than lime or green. I don't know if there are already other colors. But, you know, it's a start. Okay, 200 meters. Oh, this isn't going to be nearly enough. That's fine. We can find more within 200. Now that we've spotted it, now that we're like in the right, vaguely the right direction, we'll be all right. Where was this patch back here? Just follow our tracks. There we go. God, this thing stops on a dime. Why have I gone this long without having a scorpion? This thing owns. I love it. Come on, buddy. You got this. You got this, Elite Net Code. I believe in you. Hey. Might need to do a firmware update on the router. We'll see if I do that tonight. I think it's just Elite, personally. I've been having issues pretty much since they did the lighting update. It's been pretty rough. Alright, if I find any more, I have a feeling it's going to be up here on like this little plane, right? So like, let's try and stick up here before going back to the ship. Gotta be some more grass around here, man. Hey man, you got that grass? Really? Really now? Okay, well I was wrong. There ain't shit up here, Captain. Oh, hey, there we go. Alright, well that's enough of this planet. Whee. I mean, it's kind of cool looking in its own way. I'm not a big fan of the bright orange, but I gotta say, I don't really see this skybox all that often. So, you know, it's something a little different. Can't remember what the range is on how far out I have to get before it just leaves without me. I think it's like 1,500, 2,000, something like that. Right, the handling on this is so much better. It's so much better. So yeah, if you're gonna explore, get a Scorpion. The gun is kind of annoying, I guess, according to some people, but all you're gonna be doing is shooting rocks, if anything. I'd much rather have the handling. Some of the like sandy planets, like you're in the X Games, man, doing that all the time. It's nothing but that 24/7. Going 2 feet. All right, spin out. Ugh. And it doesn't really take any damage either. I've kind of noticed that too as I hit that rock head on. As one does. Ugh. And I guess I can tap this rock. What are you? What are those? What do we got? Nickel? I don't think I had much nickel. Manganese, I can always use manganese. Carbon, I think I'm full on. The sulfur. Yeah, I think sulfur's the one that I had too much of. Yeah, that one I'm full on. Nickel, I don't know about. I haven't used too much of it. Why is it not picking up? I must be full on nickel. Okay. Well, now we know. All right, good enough. I love this ship, man. Look at it. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. It is kind of weird from the side. I have seen some Reddit threads talking about like the big gaps between the disc and the backside, but it kind of makes sense once you see it and see the nacelles like leaving, right? Okay, I don't know if I can do it when I'm in photo mode. We're gonna try it. Let's see here. Here we go. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, you can kind of see that gap between the nacelles and the disc. Some people don't like it, but like it does make sense given that the nacelles have to like leave. Carry out. All right. Let's get back. Let's get back home. Get back out of here. All right. How far do I gotta go? I don't even remember where I sent it. Oh. Okay. That's not too bad. 6 jumps, so that's some more stuff along the way. That's fine. Oh. Oh no. Oh no, our music. Our music. I didn't have it on loop. That's fine. It's space, man. No one can hear you out here. Can't hear shit. Where was it? There we go. All right, let's put this on loop this time. There we go. Much better. All right, hey. What do we got? Anything good? No. 2. Both stars. That's fine. Let's actually turn this on so I can get like scooch up real close to it. We're going to sit here scooping for a second. Like if you do a lot of SEO, yeah, the scoop does take a little bit longer. I mean, it's still not bad. You know, beforehand it was like DBX levels, right? Here it's not terrible. It's manageable. You're not going to lose your mind doing it every time. But it's still a fair amount. All right, White Star. This one's been discovered. I can already tell you that. I can already tell you that. Come on. Oh, wow. It hasn't been discovered. Okay. Okay. Oh. Hello. All right. Well, let's take a look. Body 4. Okay. Yeah, we're having some issues. Elite, I mean, it's been, I don't know, it's been getting a lot of snakes lately. It's been getting a lot of adders. So, yeah, I think something's up. I don't know. I don't know if it's me or them, but something's going on. Alright, anything class 4s. That's kind of neat. Don't see too many class 4s out and about. Come on. Peace. Peace. And oh god, all of them are around the other side. All of them are around the other side. Let's get out of here. Oh, there we go. Ooh, a lot of wide rings. I love to see it. I love to see it, but how wide are we talking about is the other thing. Again, my definition of wide is very, very different than what Elite Observatory has. Now, I know that there's a way that you can go through and like customize a lot of those things. I haven't done it yet, but there is a way to do it. There we go. A lot of stuff. Cool. Next, what do you got here? That one was kind of far out. Very nice. Very nice. What are you doing way out there? Okay. Ooh, egg. I haven't found too many eggs yet. Usually find a couple. Oh, hello. 6B, diverse life pop-up. Okay, we gotta go check that out. 2 with diverse life. Oh. Okay. I'm not gonna be scanning all of them because a lot of that shit's gonna be really a pain in the ass to find. But we gotta go scope them. We gotta go scope them. I think the diverse life is... It needs at least 8 before Elita Observatory will pick it up. So when they say diverse, they mean diverse. Not quite Earth-like world yet, but up there. Okay. All right, so we've got options. Oh, okay. Chonky boy. Greenhouse effect, okay. Always read the descriptions, just in case. Just in case. Alright, chemistry, okay. And yeah. As with many such gaseous systems. Alright, how big are our rings? And they're just like 1.5 light seconds each. That's not that great. This is 6. We got 6B and 6G. 6B is the way to go. 9. Oh, all right. Okay. But who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky and a lot of it will be close together. I've had that happen a couple of times. It's always really nice when it happens. And they're kind of close too. I think the top planet that I've ever found gave me like 300 million or something like that from a single planet. It was a fair amount. We'll see how this compares. It really comes down to the closest of everything. Like obviously if you're one of those explorers that will completely explore a planet and find everything, you can. And it'll be worth a lot. But for me, like once I get into my ship, I'm done. I'm ready to go to the next one. So for me, it's all about how close they are to each other. And despite all of these little planets, none of them were shepherds. Usually I'll get a shepherd with this many planets and wide rings in the system. I guess only one is that star. I like brown star or whatever. All right, we're finally lucking out. It's fine. It took a little bit. It took 2.5 hours. We're finally getting some interesting systems. Let's keep it going. Welcome to the stream. I've had a lot of streamer luck, as you can tell by the 9 signals we're about ready to scan. All right, we're close enough. Oh, and it's a tiny little guy. It's a tiny little planet. Huh. That's okay. That's a good sign. Obviously, we're going to look for stratum, and that's kind of the go-to. And then whatever's around the stratum is fine. That'll be enough. Aloida? I haven't really found a whole lot of Aloida. Okay, well, not as much as I thought. I guess we can go with the Tubus, but it's all really kind of annoying things, it looks like. I guess the Concha we can try and find some. Let's spin around to the bright side of the planet. Like Osseous and Tubus. I do like the Tubus. But it's also another one of those that has like 1,000-meter range. So it's really, really, really annoying. Do we have anything on the light side? Anything at all? Okay, well, I guess that's just what we're going to have to go with. What we see is what we get. Okay. That means I'm probably not going to do the other planet. We'll see. We'll get down here and see how annoying it is. Like that last one, everything was still kind of close together at the very least. It was all flat. Like sometimes the borders are flatter than they look from the sky. So, yeah, we can hope for that. We can hope and pray. Come on, FDev gods, give me some luck, please. Stop working on the next Jurassic Park game for a little bit. I believe in you. Oh, interesting. Interesting makeup. Okay, that's... Alright. Alright, let's at least get above this ridge. But hey, they are kind of close together. At least from up here. There's our Tubus. There it is over there. Our beloved Tubus. Love you. Gonna do it. Gonna find a spot. Doing his best. He's doing what he can. All right. Let's see. What do we got? I think we got some cactoida over there. Take a look at my traffic monitor. Okay. It's fine. Okay, well, I think we'll have a decent amount to get here. Some decent money. Whee! Bomb. Alright, well, I guess we just pick one and start. I can't remember what the range on Cactoida is, so we might do that one last. I would almost rather just start with the big stuff and then, like, circle our way in, right? Maybe. Pagabus. 800 meter. All right. Well, we're going to be driving a bit. Where was the other Tubus at? I saw you like in the distance somewhere. Get up on the high ground. Here's some Tubus. It's still too close though. Whoa. All right. Yep. Glad I bought the Scorpion. Oh God. Okay. All right. Even a bit much for that. I see. Where was I going? It's got some really cool sound effects to it too. We're going to go down and get the Lone Ranger down here. Huh. Yeah, it's just all by its lonesome out here. Yes. Come on. Come on, Internet. I believe in you. You got this. We're trying. We're struggling. We're struggling. All right. One more, and then I think Actoid is only like 500, if that. So hopefully it won't be too bad. I say that, and yet, with my luck. Man, this really is kind of like a desert planet, though. It's kind of neat. I like the look of it. Just needs a little bit brighter sky, and we'd have a true Old West. Alright, is this going to be far enough? Please tell me. Yeah. Please tell me it will be. So I can start scanning some other stuff. No. Just barely. Go to the Tubus Forest. Go to the Tubus Forest. This has a lot nearby. There we go. There we go. I'm going to scan the Cactoidin next, just because it seems like it's, I haven't seen as much of it as the others. Nice. Yeah. That's Aloida, so yeah, that'll be easy to find. Tubus Gray. Alright, I don't know if I've really found a whole lot of gray Tubus. Cactoid is never really worth a lot, but they look neat. I guess I didn't have to get into the SRP for that. That's fine. What's my range? What do I got to do for this? Okay, it's not going to tell me. The internet's spiking too much. Oh, 300. That's not bad. Everything's getting delayed. For some reason. Turn off EDD. There we go. Alright, I want to start heading vaguely back in the direction of my ship so it doesn't leave me. I mean, it's easy enough to get it to go down. Okay, there's some bacterium, but I haven't seen any others, so we're probably going to skip the bacterium. If I was seeing like a few patches while I was driving around, it'd be one thing, but if I've only seen one, that's not a good sign. That sounds like more trouble than it's worth. I mean, at this point, I might be lucky to find the other cactoid. Come on, you gotta be around here somewhere. We landed right next to you. Over here, maybe? Yeah, there we go. There we go. I'd even be able to get them both in one run. Yeah, I think that's more than 300 out. I'll just hop over there to that little dune. Bloop. Ectoida cortexum. All right. That's a name. All right, but it's not swole like the new cactuars that we all know. He's some swole cactoid, all right? Riding a motorcycle around. I am excited about that. I am very ready for 7.4. I need an excuse to get back into FF14. It's always been my home. All right. Is any of the alloid like close? Doesn't look like it. Cool. I don't know what's up. I'm sorry, guys. We haven't had this issue in a while. It used to be like a really big problem, and then it stopped for a very long time. But now it's back, and I don't know why. Come on. Come on. We could just get through this planet. Oh, did I add her? I think I added her. Oh, no, there we go. There we go. All right, what's the range on the ferns? Let's see. I don't really remember. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've looked. Oh, only 150? Yeah. I guess I really don't even need the SRV for that. 150 is doable. With a new G5, yeah. That's more than doable. But, you know, we got to start heading back to the ship anyway, so I might as well just do it anyways. Nice. You know, we only scanned 3 of the 9. I don't really feel like going around trying to find the concha. I really don't. Like, that's only found in, like, canyons and shit. That just sounds like pain right about now. Not with the issues. And honestly, it doesn't pay enough to really be worth it. But, you know, now we know it exists. Whee. Figure this will be enough. I mean, ultimately, the only things that are really going to be worth a lot would be like the stratum and stuff, right? Like every plant, I think, has one really high-paying variant. There we go. But I haven't memorized what the high-paying variants of all the plants are, so I don't know. I don't know if any of these are it. Yeah, I mean, just about every plant has like one. They're pretty tricky to find. I think I've only found the high-paying tussock like once or twice, if that. Not very, very common. Whee! All right. So I think this is going to be it. I think we'll okay, that's fine. We'll hold off streaming anymore until tomorrow. I don't know what it's going to be yet. We'll just kind of decide when we get there, right? But yeah, I want to get this this internet issue figured out and see what's going on with it. But yeah, that is the Caspian. I think we got a lot done. I think we found a fair amount of interesting things. Just, you know, took a little bit before we got there. But thanks a ton for coming out. I missed you guys during the week. So, you know, like, subscribe, tell your friends, all that good stuff. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Just keep an eye on the channel, on Blue Skies, and we'll make an announcement. Like I said, it might be the FF Live letter. It might not. I haven't decided yet. It's really going to depend if I'm up or not. But yeah. All right. Well, take care, everybody. You enjoy the rest of your night and sleep well. Bye-bye.